It's the iPhone 4 and the Evo 4G right side by side. So just a nice little comparison of the two devices. You can obviously see now the size differential between the two. The Evo is significantly larger than the iPhone.
I like how you laugh there, player.
In every regard, I mean, you see the iPhone is thinner than the Evo. The Evo has that kind of hump on the back a bit there. It's just bigger in every regard. I don't know how else to put it, honestly. But obviously a big part of that being the size of the Evo screen, which is roughly the size of the iPhone. So with that being considered, I think it's a fair trade-off for size, for screen size. Getting a chance here to kind of see those two screens next to each other. Let's see if I zoom in a little bit. So that iPhone, obviously with the Retina display, the Evo with just an LCD. I forget the exact pixel density on the device, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and open those up. All right, and the Evo, they're both great phones. No matter how you slice it, they're both great phones. The iPhone obviously has more clarity to the screen, but as you can see here, even in the video, it's not to an extent where you're losing or missing anything on the Evo per se. But it definitely is a much more clear, more vibrant screen on the iPhone, deeper blacks, truer color than on the Evo. Similar in the sense that you have home screens that you can scroll through. There are 7 on the HTC. The iPhone, I believe, has as many as you want to add. Or yes, you can add them pretty much infinitely, and just fill up with your different applications. The Evo does have an advantage in this area though, in that it has widgets that are actually movable, usable. You can do things with them. If you'll notice my weather widget, when you kind of cut it on, you get the little cloud effect or whatever weather you may be experiencing. Music app, so I can hit it and play straight from the desktop. Pandora. So there's a number of different widgets that you can use that are live and moving on your phone here. They do, of course, use some of your battery power. The iPhone 4 now with the new iPhone OS, as we showed in the iPhone video, actually has the ability to have the folders where it will group together similar apps, and you can kind of group those things together. The Evo has a similar feature. If you long press in any given place on the screen, it'll pop up and ask you want to put a widget, app, etc. And folder is one of those options. So you can make your own custom folders, and it actually makes some folders that correspond to different applications you may have downloaded. Like, for example, my Pandora has a My Stations folder already pre-made in there, and then it'll just open up and have your different folders and different Pandora stations. So the folder option is there on both of those devices. Alright, so now just going to show off the cameras on both the iPhone and the Evo 4G. So we're going to take a picture of the same thing. So here you see a picture of that car. So there's the iPhone there, and then the Evo in its other hand. And now that we got a chance to take both those pictures, so here's the image from the iPhone, and here we have the image from the Evo. And I'm sure it's much harder to tell through the camera screen the difference between the two. But I have to say the iPhone definitely looks a little more clear. Color's a little more true. Honestly, it looks like it's actually a slightly better picture than the Evo. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, you get a little more of the detail of the color. The Evo's a little bit more washed, but coming from whatever phone you might have had previous to, these are both very, very good cameras. But for 5 megapixel camera, you can definitely tell with the additions that Apple has made to it, it picks up a little more of the natural color, a little more detail, just a little bit sharper of a picture for the iPhone 4.
Okay, so let's zoom in on them a little bit so you can get a better idea of each one. So here we have the iPhone 4 and the exact same picture on the Evo. Pull up the video on the Evo here while we're getting that together.
Right, so now just
so you see the video clip of just walking around the car here.
Along with the iPhone video that we just took. This is video using the Evo 4G at 720p. So not too much motion going on, unfortunately, but just kind of me walking around the car here. And hopefully we'll be able to show you this back in comparison with the iPhone video and give you a chance just to see how that compares.
And then here's that same video footage on the, or similar video footage on the iPhone 4.
Alright, so now I'm going to show you a video with the iPhone 4. This phone also runs a 720p HD video quality. This is taken in the landscape view, just so you can kind of see the comparison video versus the HTC Evo. I'm trying to take the same exact shot as we did with the other phone, just so you can kind of see the difference in terms of motion blur, and whatever else details and effects you can see in the camera. The other nice thing with the iPhone 4 is it comes with a mini editing software, the iMovie software, which is available for $4.99. It doesn't give you a lot of customization, but it's an editing app on your phone, so that's always nice.
Okay, and so that gives you kind of an idea of how those videos looked on both devices. Again, I'm sure it's hard to tell through the looking at it through the video camera itself, but there's the two videos side by side. So I mean, again, both having excellent video quality. I think it's a little closer on the video than the picture for sure. Yeah. Again, the color may be a little more true on the iPhone 4 than on the Evo. Evo seems to have a slight tint to the color, but both excellent. I don't think that either one would, you know.
As a standalone device just to take instead of having a camera and a phone, and they're both great choices, for sure.
Multitasking be another one of the new features on the iPhone 4 or in the iOS 4. So it gives you the ability to just double tap on the home key and it will bring up all the applications or recently used applications. You can then just scroll through those applications right here on the bottom. One nice thing is that if you have music playing in most music applications, you're able to actually control those straight from the this little bar here, the multitask, drawer. I don't know what you actually call that. But it gives you options to actually launch those different programs without having to close them out. So it has that multitasking ability that once wasn't there.
But they don't run in the background.
But for the most part, they kind of freeze in the background versus actually running, like you'll see on the Android OS. Android, excellent at multitasking. You have the ability to, not only do you have a notification drawer that you can pull down and different things will stay present in there, but you can long press your home key and it will bring up recent applications. You can easily just launch into any given application, and it will still be running live in the background. Obviously, that does have the potential to drain a little bit more battery, but it's pretty smart about managing your memory, and you have the ability to completely back out of those applications, and it will kind of close them out there for you. So giving the ability to multitask on there, whether it be music that you're playing in the background, Pandora you're playing in the background. A nice feature and something I use quite often is the ability to launch into one thing and let it load while I go do something else, come back to it, browse the web a bit, and then go back to the thing that was loading, and it's still going on in the background. But the iPhone 4, definitely having some nice new features. And here's a great example of how the drawer, I can pull the drawer down and hop right back to my Pandora and cut whatever that is off. Alright, so yeah, there you go. You see that on there. And then here on the iPhone 4, having that ability to do that as well. Launch Slacker Radio, go into something completely different, have that still playing in the background. Quick double tap, I can go back to Slacker to stop it. Go back here, do something else, or if I want to I don't want to stop it necessarily, I might want to just skip a track. I can go there, skip it, and then go back to what I was doing. So definitely a nice new feature on the iPhone 4, giving it the ability, even if it's not true multitasking, definitely giving it the ability to do some things a little more seamlessly and to do more than one thing at a time in an easier fashion than you could on previous iPhones.